This week's Ask Dr. Durie comes as a question which is from many patients asked actually. The question is, where are we with the approval of minimal residual disease testing at the FDA level? In other words, we hear a lot about MRD testing, but when is it going to be fully approved by the FDA? And the answer to that is that these discussions with the FDA are going on actively. And these discussions relate to two things. Number one is the tests which are used to evaluate the bone marrow to see if there is minimal residual disease in the bone marrow. And the two tests which are used to do that are NGS, which is a sequencing test currently available through the Adaptiva company, and that testing system has in fact been submitted to the FDA for consideration. The other way that the bone marrow can be evaluated is using a flow cytometry test. This is the NGF, or next generation flow test. This testing is available in several ways. The Cytognos company from Spain is also getting ready, directly or indirectly, to have that submitted to the FDA as a testing system. And so that is one aspect to it. But what is really important is for the FDA to accept that MRD negativity is a true and reliable indicator of a better outcome for patients with myeloma. And this is called a surrogate endpoint. So the FDA needs to accept MRD testing as a surrogate endpoint. And so the good news is that there are several efforts ongoing. For example, the IMF, through the Black Swan Research Initiative, has actually met with the FDA several times, and a submission is moving forward with the FDA. And so the bottom line in this case is that both in the frontline setting, which is part of the IMF submission, and in another submission looking at the relapse setting, there are data being submitted to the FDA seeking approval for MRD negativity testing as a surrogate endpoint. What is the timeline for this? Well, the submissions are being submitted and processed in these upcoming months, and so it really is likely that not only will the testing procedures get approval, but the approval of MRD negativity based upon the IMWG response criteria using a 1 in a million cutoff level. This could end up getting approved by the FDA sometime in the next year or two at the latest. So really quite promising that this will be moving forward in a rapid fashion.